So you guys, we're back again with the Toyota. Today we're going to be replacing the strut rod bracket. I think that's what you call it. Is that rod right there? I'll show you guys right now where it's located. And what happened was that we were going down the street. I think we were hitting like about 30. And one of those sewer things that are flat on the floor, I don't know why this street had one that was about maybe a foot high. It was like a big bump. We didn't see it till it was too late, so we hit it going like about 20 by then, because we slammed on the brake, but we still hit it almost full speed of where we were going down that street. That thing tossed the truck to the left pretty hard, and then the steering wheel was way off. It was already off. It wasn't really centered, but this thing threw it way off. So we drove it like that for about a week. And just the other day when we were doing the oil pan gasket and the oil pump gaskets, we saw that the bracket was bent out of shape. So I'm about to show you guys how it looks right now. And there's a lot of water because we were washing all the gunk buildup from the oil leak that it had. But you can see right here, this is the damaged bracket. So I don't know if you guys could tell, but the rod has a big gap right here from the bushing to the actual bracket, and it's bent back. So I guess since we kind of turned the steering wheel right before we hit it, we caught it right here and it bent the bracket out of shape. So we're gonna get to this right now, and I think the first thing we're gonna do is see if we could get the rod off of the arm to get some angle on this or actually, you know what, we might just go ahead and hit these 4 bolts. So these 2 right here and these 2 right here, hopefully the bracket could come down. But I'm thinking to do that, we're gonna have to put some pressure on the lower control arm. Yeah, then we're gonna have to put some pressure on that so that this could be at a better angle and not put too much stress on the bolts while we're taking them off. We just placed the jack right there on those 2 bolts for the rod. Now we're gonna hit these right here without stripping them. Let me try to hold the impact with 2 hands. So we have a little issue. This first bolt right here came out stripped. Right there, you can see the first threads are all messed up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get another bolt from the junkyard. They are 14 millimeters, by the way. So we got all 4 off. Now we're gonna get to this nut right here in front of the rod, and it is a 1 1/16. That's what we found that fits pretty good. So we're gonna hit it with the impact. Oh shit. See if we can get the impact on here. Fuck, we can't. Let me get a bigger extension. That worked pretty good. Now we can pull the bracket off of the rod. Shit. Get the bushing and this off. I have to pull the rod down and out. What we decided to do is to remove these 2 bolts down here, because it's kind of a hassle to pull that out as it is without the front nut and all that. So these are size 17s. Oh shit. Fuck. It's pretty dirty. You're able to slide that off. You can see how bent the bushing is now. Then we're gonna have to get some new ones. Those aren't that old, but I guess it was pretty hard the way we hit. Yeah, one shit. So you can see how pushed back that piece is right there. Hold on, let me get better lighting. So now we're off to the junkyard to find one. And the bushing, shit. Guess we're gonna have to buy some new ones on Rock Auto. These are Moog. You can see how squished this thing is. So, put you guys back on once we get that. We just got to the junkyard. And we found the bracket that we're looking for. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the 17 millimeters. I'm gonna take both just to have one as spare. The same thing, just remove the 14s and the 17s right there, and then this one right here. This is the new bracket, so you can see it's a little bent. This one's also bent right here, but it's not as bad as this one. You can see from here to here, it's like really out of shape right here. It's kind of going down on this side. This one's almost completely straight. So we're gonna hammer this little thing down a little bit so we could put our little skid plate that was on there. And then this one could be tossed in the scrap metal. And we also have the driver's side, because we wanted to have an extra one just in case. And this was like 17 bucks, I believe. And we also have the bolts that go through here. You can see even on this bent piece, you can see that this has a big bump right here, and the new one doesn't. You can see all the damage right here. Like this part right here is all bent. This one's nice and smooth. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna toss it on there. Oh, actually, let me hammer this real quick. Well, I don't know if it's bent or not. I think it is. So it goes like this. Yeah, it might be a little bent. Let me hammer that real quick. We got this back on here. We're just gonna hit it with the impact to drive this nut all the way in. And then we're gonna go ahead and bolt this up. I'm gonna have to do this with two hands real quick, so I have to grab this and then run this in. So we put all the bolts in for the bracket. There's 4, and we got a new one from the junkyard because the other one was stripped. We jacked up the arm from that spot so we could get the bolts in. Now we gotta put the other 17 millimeter bolt in here. We got everything bolted up. Now we're going to install the wheel, and we're gonna try to get it aligned as much as possible. Okay, so we're under the truck, and we're gonna loosen up these tie rod ends, the adjustment sleeve or whatever you call these. Yeah, I think they're called the adjustment sleeves. We're gonna break them loose on both sides, this side and the driver's side. We're gonna measure from here to the inside of this thread over here on the front of the wheel, and then we're gonna measure the back of the wheel, and then we'll go adjusting according to that. We're gonna do 1/8 towing on the front, and it should give us a good alignment. The caster, whatever this does, we can't get to that because we don't have a machine. We could try to measure it and adjust it like that, but for now we're just gonna do the toe and all that. So we have to make sure that the steering wheel is locked in the center position, so when you drive it's not cocked to one side like it was. One thing I forgot to mention is that if you're doing the alignment at home, you have to put the weight of the vehicle on the wheels. So what we did is we put the jack stands on the control arms, so it'll be the same thing as if the wheel was touching the ground. We got our first measurement. For the front we have 53.5 roughly. For the back we have 54.5. So that's a whole inch of toe in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to open up the wheels up front, and then go from there, start adjusting accordingly. So we're gonna turn these. One way is gonna make the wheel go in, the other way is gonna make the wheel go out. So we're just eyeballing it, and then from the side of the truck, and then once we see that the wheel's kind of straight, then we'll go ahead and start measuring again. So there you have it. We just replaced the strut rod bracket, and hopefully now it doesn't give us any alignment issues. Make sure to check us out on Instagram at Yonke_OXC films. I'll leave that in the description down below, and we'll catch you in the next one.